Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to challenge your thinking, shift your perspective, and empower you with a principle that governs your destiny: the power of assumption. Everything you see in your life today is the product of a thought you once assumed to be true. Your mind is the architect of your future. Just as an architect drafts a blueprint before a building is constructed, your assumptions draft the blueprint of your reality. If you assume failure, life will construct a reality of obstacles. If you assume victory, life will build a path for your success. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to speak to you about something that has the power to change your life forever. This is not just an idea, it is a law that governs the way life unfolds for each of us. The power of assumption is not a theory, it is a reality, and whether you are aware of it or not, it is already at work in your life, about your circumstances and about your future, is shaping everything you experience. Your assumptions are either working for you or against you, and it is up to you to take control of them. Everything that exists in your life today started as a thought, a belief, or an assumption that you held on to long enough for it to become real. Assumption is more than wishful thinking. It is not simply daydreaming or hoping for something to happen. Assumption is a deep, unwavering belief that something is already true even before you see any evidence of it. It is the ability to take hold of an idea, accept it as fact, and live in the reality of it until it manifests. This is how leaders rise. This is how inventors change the world. This is how ordinary people become extraordinary. When you assume something to be true, your mind begins to organize everything in your life to make that assumption a reality. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions align with what you believe. If you assume that you are destined for greatness, your posture changes, your decisions shift, and you begin to walk in a way that commands success. If you assume that you will fail, you will see obstacles everywhere, and even the smallest challenge will look like an impossible mountain. The truth is, life does not give you what you want, it gives you what you believe. Too many people live their lives waiting for proof before they believe. They say, "I will believe in my success when I see results," or "I will have faith when I have evidence." But that is not how life works. Success does not come to those who wait for evidence. Success comes to those who assume it before they see it. The greatest men and women in history did not wait for permission to believe in their dreams. They assumed their greatness long before anyone else recognized it. They walked with confidence, spoke with authority, and acted with certainty, even when the world doubted them. Look at any champion in history, and you will see the power of assumption at work. A world-class athlete does not wait to win a championship before believing they are the best. They assume victory in their mind first. They train, they prepare, and they compete with the mindset of a champion long before they ever hold a trophy in their hands. A leader does not wait for people to follow them before assuming leadership. They step into that role, they make decisions, and they take responsibility as if they were already in charge. The world eventually catches up to what they already believed. The same principle applies to every area of life. If you want to change your financial situation, you must first assume the mindset of abundance. If you want to improve your relationships, you must assume love, respect, and value for yourself and others. If you want to become successful in your career, you must assume that you are capable, worthy, and deserving of success. The moment you make that assumption, everything in your life will begin to shift to match it. My friends, your assumptions are the foundation of your reality. If you assume doubt, fear, and failure, that is what you will experience. But if you assume confidence, faith, and success, nothing can stop you. Do not wait for permission to believe in yourself. Do not wait for evidence to start walking in your purpose. Assume it, live it, and watch as the world bends to match your belief. Everything in life begins with a thought. What you assume about yourself, about your abilities, and about your future determines how you move through the world. Assumptions are not just ideas, they are the foundation upon which your reality is built. Whether you are conscious of it or not, your assumptions are shaping your actions, your decisions, and ultimately your destiny. The mind is a powerful tool, and whatever it accepts as true becomes the guiding force in your life. If you assume defeat, you will unconsciously create a path that leads to failure. If you assume victory, you will naturally align yourself with the habits, choices, and opportunities that lead to success. People often believe that their circumstances define them, but the truth is, it is their assumptions about their circumstances that determine their experience. Two individuals can face the same challenge. One assumes it is an obstacle too great to overcome, while the other assumes it is a stepping stone to something greater. The one who assumes defeat will retreat, but the one who assumes victory will press forward until they find a way through. Assumption is the foundation of resilience. It is the force that keeps people standing when others fall. It is the belief that fuels action, even in the face of uncertainty. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have, and the assumptions you hold shape the world you live in. Every person is living in the reality of what they have assumed to be true about themselves and their circumstances. The power of assumption is not just about positive thinking, it is about setting the foundation for what you will experience in life. Whatever you deeply believe and accept as true, whether good or bad, will manifest in your actions, decisions, and outcomes. Assumption is not passive. It is an active force that directs your focus and influences the way you respond to challenges and opportunities. When you assume success, you begin to see possibilities that others overlook. You carry yourself differently, speak with more confidence, and take actions that align with the reality you believe in. This is why two people can start with the same resources, the same education, and the same opportunities, yet produce completely different results. One assumes that success is possible and inevitable, while the other assumes that obstacles will hold them back. The difference is not in their circumstances, but in their assumptions. Your mind will always work to prove your assumptions right. If you assume you are capable, you will develop the skills and habits to support that belief. If you assume you are not good enough, you will unconsciously sabotage your own progress to align with that assumption. Many people live their lives waiting for external validation before they believe in their own potential. They wait for someone to give them permission to succeed, for circumstances to change, or for a sign that they are ready. But those who truly succeed understand that they must assume success before they see any evidence of it. They do not wait for the world to confirm their greatness. They step into it with confidence. Assumption is the foundation of leadership. No great leader waited for the title before they started acting like one. They assumed the responsibility, carried the vision, and influenced others long before they were officially recognized. The world follows those who walk with the certainty of someone who already possesses what they desire. Assumption does not ignore reality, it shapes reality. It is not about denying challenges, but about approaching them with the mindset that they can be overcome. When you assume that solutions exist, your mind becomes creative in finding them. When you assume that every setback is temporary, you develop resilience. The reason some people rise after failure while others remain stuck is because of what they assume about failure itself. Some assume it is the end, while others assume it is a stepping stone. The way you perceive your struggles determines whether they break you or build you. The key to harnessing the power of assumption is to align your thoughts, words, and actions with the reality you want to create. It is not enough to simply wish for something. You must live in the assumption that it is already yours. If you desire financial success, you must assume the habits and mindset of someone who is financially successful. If you want strong relationships, you must assume the qualities of someone who attracts and nurtures meaningful connection. If you want to achieve a goal, you must assume it is already within reach and take action as if success is inevitable. Life does not give you what you want, it gives you what you believe. Whatever you assume about yourself, others, and the world will shape your experiences. If you assume that you are limited, you will live a life of limitations. But if you assume that you are capable, worthy, and destined for greatness, your life will begin to reflect that truth. The choice is always yours. You must decide today what you will assume about your future, because whatever you assume, you will eventually become. Everything you experience in life is a reflection of what you have assumed to be true about yourself and the world around you. Assumptions are not just thoughts, they are deeply rooted beliefs that shape the way you think, act, and respond to life. Most people do not realize that they are already living according to their assumptions. They assume struggle, so they experience hardship. They assume limitations, so they remain stuck. But those who understand the power of assumption know that they have the ability to create the reality they desire by consciously shaping their beliefs. The mind is always working, and it will always seek to confirm whatever you assume to be true. Your thoughts are the architects of your destiny. If you assume you are capable of achieving great things, your actions will reflect that belief. You will take risks, push through obstacles, and persist until success becomes a reality. On the other hand, if you assume that success is out of reach, your actions will align with that assumption. You will hesitate, doubt yourself, and give up too soon. Life does not give you what you wish for. It gives you what you assume to be true. The greatest mistake people make is thinking that their current circumstances define their future. But circumstances are not permanent. Your assumptions shape and change them. Those who assume abundance attract opportunities, while those who assume lack repel them. Every major breakthrough in history was fueled by someone who assumed the impossible was possible. The greatest leaders, inventors, and pioneers did not wait for proof before believing in their vision. They assumed success before the world recognized it. This is because assumption is not just about believing, it is about embodying the belief. A champion assumes victory long before they step onto the field. A leader assumes influence before they receive a title. A visionary assumes their dream is real before it takes form. Assumption is the seed from which all success grows. Without it, nothing new can be created. Your assumptions determine your daily habits and decisions. If you assume that you are destined for greatness, you will naturally adopt behaviors that support that belief. You will seek knowledge, develop discipline, and surround yourself with people who challenge and inspire you. If you assume that life is against you, you will adopt behaviors that reinforce failure. You will procrastinate, avoid challenges, and settle for less than you are capable of achieving. The difference between those who thrive and those who struggle is not luck or intelligence, it is assumption. Those who assume success act differently, think differently, and approach life with a sense of purpose and confidence. Most people wait for external validation before they allow themselves to believe in their own potential. They wait for someone to recognize their talent, for a door to open, or for a sign that they are ready. But those who succeed do not wait for confirmation. They create it. They assume their worth, their ability, and their destiny before anyone else sees it. The world responds to those who walk with certainty. When you assume success, you radiate confidence. When you assume influence, people listen. When you assume value, opportunities come your way. Life does not respond to wishful thinking, it responds to deep, unwavering belief. Your assumptions are like a magnet, attracting experiences that match the energy you put out into the world. If you assume struggle, struggle will find you. If you assume possibility, doors will open. The most powerful thing you can do is take control of your assumptions and align them with the reality you want to create. Do not wait for evidence before you believe. Assume it now, live in it now, and watch as your world transforms before your eyes. Your life is a reflection of what you assume to be true. Every thought, decision, and action you take is rooted in an assumption about yourself, your abilities, and your future. Most people go through life unaware that their assumptions are shaping their reality. They assume failure before they try, so they never take risks. They assume they are unworthy of success, so they settle for less. But those who understand the power of assumption realize that they have control over their destiny. They know that by changing what they assume, they can change what they experience. Your assumptions are either limiting you or empowering you. The question is, what are you assuming about yourself today? The human mind is a powerful force, constantly seeking to confirm whatever it believes to be true. Kia. If you assume that you are not good enough, your mind will find reasons to justify that belief. You will notice every mistake, dwell on every failure, and magnify every flaw. But if you assume that you are capable and deserving of success, your mind